Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. Tom, you did not interrupt me.
This is the first time in weeks that you actually started right on time, so I didn't have to.
You know why? Tom broke his hand today.
No, not true.
He fractured his hand. He's in pain. He doesn't know where he is.
No, that's not true.
You took too much medicine.
It's an AI version of me.
You look good, the AI version.
Hey, maybe I should get the AI version.
We're going to talk about Mamdani. We're going to talk about the snow that I
about
helped
that.
out.
I wanna talk
I want
about
to talk
that.
about your friends. Olympics is made that even if you're at war, everybody's allowed to come, and it's supposed to be a peaceful
Yes,
event.
absolutely.
I want you to talk about that because what you told me today is like shocking.
I was very shocked about that, and I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Right, and we have. I would like to talk about, of course, our president,
Yes.
the
Donald J.
Donald J. But the
45, 47?
The State of the Union address.
I want to talk about that. I watched it for a bit.
Me too. I didn't watch it at the time, but I woke up like at 1 o'clock because I was very exhausted yesterday because of our signatures and the campaign, which I'll
Yes,
talk about.
we'll talk about that.
So when I got home like 10 o'clock, I had to go back to the hospital. I had to go back to an event, and then when I finally got home, I just collapsed. And I woke up like 2 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah,
I
I've
got
been
a
there.
call from somebody, a lawyer, that said somebody was in trouble today. And I stayed on the phone with them till like 3 o'clock. I napped. I went back for a nap. So afterwards, I watched a little bit of the. I couldn't believe it. The whole session was on. I know it went
Yes.
for an hour 47
The longest
minutes.
speech in history, by the way. This was the longest.
But I tuned in the middle, and I made it to the end, and I liked so much of it with the
Yeah.
Medal of Honors. the
Medal of Honor was
honoring the
great. That
people.
was great.
But
That
what
was great.
shocked me the most is I'm going to tell you once we hit the 5-minute mark, where we're holding. Are you watching it?
I am certainly
Do you
doing
even
that.
know what time it was?
I do know what time. Remember the old commercials? You know where your
Because
children
you're always
are?
a minute late.
No, well, because we do it 5 minutes here, and it goes over 6 onto the Zev Brenner.
So then shouldn't you figure that out by now?
You know what?
I do have to
If
scream
I
at you
did-
like I scream at the producer.
I wish you should have, because obviously, hello everybody.
Hello, my Instagram fans, YouTube fans, Facebook fans, and soon our live radio audience.
Yep, we'll certainly introduce them when they come on. I still have a voice, Heshy. I still
You
have
do,
a voice.
you
I
do.
still have my other hand.
You're
Everything's
lucky you
good.
didn't. Did you fall forward or backwards?
I fell backwards.
So today, after I came to you, I tried to be careful.
I know,
So
I heard
I
you
went out
fell.
the back and I'm holding papers and boxes and boom, I flew
Well,
like a cartoon.
I gotta be honest. 2 weeks ago,
I didn't break my rib, but this time I flew on my ass. My ass is big.
I gotta be honest. 2 weeks ago, I actually almost on the same block where I fell. I almost had the same thing, but I was lucky and I clutched myself backwards and I caught myself. This time I wasn't so
It's
lucky.
just the danger out there, the shoveling, the snow, the street. You have to climb over piles to get on the sidewalk.
somebody
You have to
commented-
walk to the corner. No, you can't.
Somebody commented on my Facebook page that I had posted during the blizzard where I was, and it seems like every 6 we have a big blizzard. 96 we had, remember 96, 24 inches. 2006 we had.
I think it was
2016.
1977 we had a big blizzard,
Yep,
not
so-
76.
But 96, 2006,
yeah, I remember 96.
2006, 2016 we had one,
I don't remember that one.
and I do because I was outside working.
Was
it.
this wasn't a big blizzard? You guys made a big deal of
No,
nothing.
we had 20.
But
Newark.
I was
Newark
drive-
had. Do you know how many inches Newark had? 27.
I was driving. I was
But you're driving
out.
no matter what. You're driving.
I'm driving. You drive slow. I shoveled. As I came out that morning, I
was
already
out.
shoveled and salted. And when I came home, there was just maybe another inch of stuff.
Wow.
And I cleaned my car. It took me 15 minutes. I sat in the car, let it warm up. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't know. People were walking to synagogue. People were out. It's just, you shut down a city, and it didn't even shut down the city. He made a state of emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's had a travel ban from
Travel ban. What does that mean? You can't come out of your house he's not right.
Well, we can talk about that throughout the show. I think that's a big topic because obviously a lot of people.
He did a bad job.
What happened with the police officer? Oh, it was just a snowball incident.
I brought that up. I have that in my
We'll
notes.
talk
I'm
about
very
that.
upset about that.
Absolutely. I do want to start to introduce. You said you want me to do it earlier, so I'm going to formally introduce.
No, I don't want you doing
Well,
that.
I think we're right around that point.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
I want to formally introduce our listeners who are about to join us here on the Talkline Radio Network. First of all, thank you so much for being here. Where else you're going to be? You're snowed in, most likely.
It's not the Talkline Network. It's just the Justin Heshy show.
The Talkline Radio Network on the stations WJPR 1640 AM in beautiful Miami, Florida, where Heshy wishes and we all would be.
Oh,
The
boy.
former rock and roll radio station 1027 FM WNEW, and of course our flagship for nearly a decade, WSNR 620 AM. Thank you so much for joining us.
Our
on
listeners
Tom
on the
Heshy.
radio don't hear my introduction anymore since they come 5 minutes late. So I should scream, hello, and welcome to another Just Enough
That's
Heshy
actually
show.
a clever idea. Maybe you should, instead of introducing the station, maybe you should just scream and that'll maybe get us more viewers there.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe, yeah. Well, anyways, I want to welcome all of you to the show. We have a very good show.
Absolutely.
I have a lot to scream about that retard Mamdani. I was out during the storm.
So was I.
And I took a
I was out
video,
there.
and they weren't cleaning our streets.
I
And
know,
it
I was out
already-
there. You and I
it
were
was
talking
8
about
o'clock in the morning, and it snowed the whole night. It should have been shoveled the night. And I went to the sanitation. I was screaming and hollering at them. I said, "You're my
Yes.
friends." I said, "I have the
You
ambulance."
were at the garage on 19th Avenue.
So
Yeah.
the street, we have a street, 49th Street and 50th
Yes,
Street.
like 50th Road.
But
49th
those are
Road,
very
yeah.
important too, because
Yes.
the ambulances go up that
Yes.
road and the buses.
The B11 bus,
So I
correct.
got the sanitation to do the streets from McDonald Avenue all the way down to the hospital and back.
Yes.
And then I went up and down. I followed the snowplow, and I took a video and I posted it.
I saw.
And I showed them that I was able to do it. Of course, I did my block.
Because you could do everything, you know.
But and we got the city up and running, and I had a lot of people out helping people shovel. And Donald Trump even said, "Mr. Mamdani, you hire people with 2 pieces of ID, but you don't want people. I mean, simple. You don't want people to vote to have ID."
But let me
But
ask you a
people to
question.
shovel had to have
All
ID.
right, let me ask you questions because Pharrell LaGuardia always said there's no Democrat or Republican way to handle things. But why is it that this guy now he had one storm to prepare for it last month? Why is it that this guy, regardless of what you thought about him going into the election when he won, why is it that this guy is so incompetent on not one but
He
two
has
of
no
these?
idea how to run a budget.
Right.
He wants free buses, free grocery stores, raise out taxes, and he still can't cover the budget. And he doesn't know how to run a sanitation department where the money is there for the budget
Absolutely.
already. And he wears the sanitation outfit like he knows what he's doing. And I'm telling you, we have machines that can melt the snow. We have places that if we salted in time, like my block.
On Staten Island, there are people even now.
But if we
it still
don't
happens.
and if we don't shovel in time, we fall. You can't cross over the sidewalk in certain areas, and the flooding and the water when it melts because you didn't shovel it correctly.
Right.
And his sewer drains are not working. But you're able. But he has this. But he has all the contractors digging up the streets in the middle of the winter. They know how to work in the middle of the
Right,
winter.
right.
They won't shut down. During the shutdown of
sir.
mass. What was it called again? The state of emergency.
State of emergency, yes.
And you can't travel. Those contractors were allowed to go out and work in closed streets. I was driving around. I saw it. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to my good friend, Sergeant Peter, Ellie, how are you? And my beautiful granddaughter, Mira Nava.
Favorite part of the show.
Layla Tamar, my grandson, which I think I want to make fun of, Benjamin Hillel, and that's my children from Moshe, and they have a new baby coming.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's going to be number 7.
Wow.
Or 8. That'll be number 8. Number 7 is coming before them.
Lucky
From
7.
Yaakov, who had Mira Nava. And
I understand Yaakov's under the weather.
Yaakov was up because they don't wear coats. They think they're tough. I'm still their father. I tell them, put on your coat. He says, Pop, I'm 25. I don't have to listen to a man. You do it. And he got sick.
Listen, I was under
and
the
I
weather.
had to go to his house and bring him
I
medicine.
wore coats. I was under the weather.
And my beautiful granddaughter, Ahuva.
Okay.
And my other grandson, Yeshua. I want to give shout outs to them. Wonderful, wonderful. That one, Avram, is not having a baby.
Well, he's here right now to cut our mics off.
I know
so
that.
Make sure
I know
you
that.
be very good and behave with him because he could cut
He
our
asked
mics.
for a raise. That means I think he might want to have
Well,
a
he
baby.
may actually lower our mics. We have to be very careful with him.
I just beat him up. Anyways, I want to give you a quote, everybody. Do you know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Actions will delineate you and define you. I know who I am. I go out and do it. I go out and stand in the snow. I go out and help the people. Today I was a little late for my volunteering job. And my supervisor, the young man, Ellie, who has Down syndrome, he's my supervisor.
Yes, I saw the video.
So he came over screaming at me. He says, "You're late, Heshy." I says, "Yeah." He says, "We have to punish you." I says, "No, you can't take away my lunch hour." He says, "No, I need a donation to my school." I said, "Really? That's how you punish me?" He says, "Everybody fines you, so you might as well." I couldn't believe he did this. And they took a video of me writing him a check for $100 for his organization. He was so happy with me. I said, "Am I unpunished?" He says, "No, you're still punished, but I'll take the check." Ellie, I love you. My additional quote is 99% of failures come from people who make excuses. And this is a great quote from Thomas Jefferson.
Absolutely.
And it applies today.
Okay.
I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever. Our country is ruled by God. No matter whether you believe it or not, I believe it. And I don't believe that we're getting away with all of this. I know we do a lot of goodness and kindness and help other worlds. And you're right, the world is built on doing goodness.
Yep.
And being
Selfless
generous
acts.
to others, selfless acts. But sooner or later, God is not going to put up with what he sees coming.
Absolutely.
The websites, married women, men running around. It's just like no control, no moral standings. The 10 Commandments don't count. And Mr. Mamdani doesn't understand that you can't just punish people and tax people. And by the way, your little tax hike that Mr. Mamdani is not going just to affect the rich. It's going to affect 3 million private homeowners. Okay,
Absolutely.
not just apartment buildings.
Yes.
And 90%
I'm with you.
of the black homeowners will be affected big time by this. You know that?
Absolutely.
So you think that you're going to take money from the rich and give it out. You have a lot of homeowners that have struggled to buy their homes, that have dug their way out of the welfare and the programs, people in the bad neighborhoods that have bought their homes, built their neighborhoods out, the minority neighborhoods, and they're going to be taxed and they're going to lose
Look at
their
neighborhoods
homes.
in Queens, right? That a lot of those people hung in
Yeah,
there.
I have a
and
lot of
they're
people in
hung-
Queens that have been screwed by the city, and
Southeast
they're coming to
Queens?
me left and right. So whatever you want to tell me about that, I believe you're full of it. I just want to tell you my joke, and then a cool story, if you don't mind.
You do whatever you want. It's your show.
When my grandson was born recently, okay, so we had great hoopla, you know what I mean? And my granddaughter was over there, and we were just so excited when the umbilical cord fell off. We showed it to everybody. So, and naturally, during one of his diaper changes, my 6-year-old granddaughter comes over, Mira, and says, and she points to that other thing over there and says, "Would that fall off too?"
That was a good one.
Yeah,
That was a good one. That
You
was a
see,
good
I
one.
said, no, baby, that's you shouldn't be looking at it, but that's real. You know
That was a
what I
good
mean?
one.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
yeah,
I'll give you that.
It
Sometimes
was
your
cute.
jokes, I'm not sure what the producer makes. He laughs the most. I think the producer really thought that was the most funniest joke you've had all year.
He didn't even make a laugh at it.
He texted me just now and was saying he was laughing so hard he almost fell off his chair.
Oh wow!
And he also said that he hopes that we get Florida-like weather because of that joke, which we all would agree with.
We need it. We are going out to collect signatures.
We are.
We are now collecting signatures for state senate and for the assembly in our districts. So when they knock on your doors or you want to come volunteer, we need to collect 1,800 signatures. So you can always contact me at 718-288-7844. You can email me at the Just Enough Heshy Show at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Or just call me, text me, WhatsApp me, and find me. I'm all over the place. Go online and Google me. You'll find my numbers. And come volunteer. We need our help. We want to get on the ballot. We want to win it this time to see what we can do. Anyways, I want to tell you a true story.
Yeah.
A lady, her husband passed away about, 15 years ago.
I'm sorry.
And when I bumped, and he was a young man, the husband. They were in their late 40s.
Okay.
my age, a little older than me.
Okay.
And I met her, and she was very sad. And so she asked me, can I give her a ride to the cemetery? And she was very good about it. I used to take her every month, every other weekend, sometimes in the summer. And she was so good taking care of her husband's plot and cleaning it up,
Right.
and always being nice about it. And I used to sit in the car. I gave her like an hour. Sometimes she says, no, just drop me. I'll go home myself, But I always was good to her about it. And she always took care of her husband's plot beautiful. And next to her, we noticed that next to her husband's grave, there seemed to be like a woman's name on the gravestone that we didn't recognize, and she also seemed to have passed away relatively young. So this beautiful, kind woman started cleaning up the neighbor's property.
Okay.
And
Very nice.
it was like a big mess. Nobody cared about it. And every other weekend, she used to plant flowers in the spring, and not plant, drop off, because she wasn't so Jewish. She was more of a modern, not so religious Jewish person. So they do the flower thing. We don't do the flower thing.
No.
We do the candles.
Yes.
She lit candles and all of that. About 3 years into this thing that I used to take her, one day I was standing there with her, and a man comes by, standing there. He looked pretty worn and shabby. He stunk from cigarettes. We introduced ourselves,
Right.
and we said we've been looking after the grave for a while.
Okay.
And he started to cry.
I'm sorry.
And it turned out that this woman was his little sister, and that he's been estranged from his family for a long time due to the combination of alcoholism and general bad luck. He hadn't been even invited to the funeral, and no one even told him where the grave was. Recently, his parents passed away, and he was the only living member of this little family: father, mother, brother, sister. And one of the family members told him about it, and he decided to track down his sister's grave, and that was the day we met him.
Oh, wow.
And he was so touched and grateful that a complete stranger cared enough to look after his sister's grave. We started to meet him every other weekend. We told him when we were coming, and this beautiful lady became friendly with him. Took him to Alcoholics Anonymous,
Okay.
helped him out, helped him get a job, and he turned out to be a really funny man.
Really?
And I helped him get an apartment.
That's very nice of you.
This will be their 3rd anniversary.
Oh, Mazel Tov.
Yeah, they got married.
Congratulations.
Anniversary, and they always invite me to their little party. It's just us, and not at the grave, but we always know that, people get put together, and I'm so proud that I was involved with. I didn't really do anything. We just cleaned somebody's grave, and you see how God works?
Well, that goes back to the quote I had said last week about Muhammad Ali, where he said, service is the room for the rent you pay here on this earth. And
right.
that's exactly that example. That's exactly that.
I want to ask you a question.
You ask
What do
me
you
anything
think?
you want.
I love Trump.
Yes, I know you do.
And I was so proud that during the thing, a lot of those Democratic idiots, some walked out during the speech.
I saw that.
One guy, Al Green, actually brought a sign that black...
Not the singer? Remember Al Green, the singer?
Yeah, but this guy is the congressman. He brings a sign that, what was the sign say? Black lives, I want to hear. Oh, black people aren't apes. What an idiot. And they threw him out again. This guy doesn't. And then Mike Johnson said that he could have, for the despicable way they acted in front of, no matter what, he's the president of the United States. You're in front of millions of people in the country, hundreds of millions of people watching the speech, and you act so despicable. Mike Johnson said, I could have evicted them. I could have asked them to leave, but he never did. Yeah. And you know what else?
What?
Some loser said he was reading Barron Trump's lips. And he knows what he said. Wow. It's like nonstop. He said something that he had a fight with his
I didn't know
mother.
you could read what people say through their lips. I didn't know.
On the television, they heard what he said. And people just knock him, and it was a beautiful speech.
Yeah.
He spoke about a lot of good things. I was very proud of him. And, the most thing that he said is, he said, you people, you Democrats especially, he says, you stand up to protect the illegal aliens, but you don't stand up to protect Americans.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking with somebody about that, earlier today, and I think that it's interesting to me that the Democrats didn't stand up for Trump, but when Obama were presidents, everybody eviscerated the Republicans when they didn't stand up at times. I think that's so, to me, that's why people are cynical about politics. Speaking of the speech, he set a record yesterday, Trump, for the longest speech.
Hour and 47 minutes.
Yep.
So this guy Warner walked out. Ilan Omar,
You're a big fan. You donate to a campaign?
No, never. She kept heckling him what did she gain by heckling him?
I'll tell you what they gained.
And the other one, Talib retard, walked out. Who cares? Nobody cares.
I'll tell you what they gained. They gained with their fans, their base, their donors. That's what they gained. But but it's funny. The previous record,
but they are not. You have to have a that's what I'm trying to tell you. An elected official has to have a special decorum, a special way to act. You want to act like a pig, you have to be sanctioned and thrown out.
Then Mike Johnson should have threw them out. He's the Speaker of the House, so why didn't he?
Yeah.
You have to ask him that question.
And Ilan Omar laughed that Trump ended wars. Sure, he ended wars. He did end the Hamas war. He did end the Iran that started a war there.
How about
Venezuela,
how about that's one in Mexico right now? What do you think?
You killed
there?
the biggest drug lord, and the Democrats don't get up. Some did get up to clap.
A few.
And then you have the Olympic men coming in.
I want to talk about that because it was almost like two sides of the story. There was the men's team, which they were supportive. Trump honored them. They were there.
They won. We won
great.
Gold medal for the
first time
country.
in 46 years.
You're not for yourselves, for the country. You have no right to do anything.
First time in 46 years, they beat the Canadians, and Trump had to be happy about that. But conversely, the women's team decided that they were not going to show up and support the Americans. And what bothers me most about it,
Who else didn't show up?
The Seattle Seahawks.
They won the Super Bowl. It's standard to come to the White House.
It doesn't matter what. We've already seen it with Clinton. We've seen it with Bush.
Sports
Obama.
is supposed to be neutral.
That's what I always. And I'm a big sports fan. I've always been a sports guy, and I've interviewed the WWE guys. I've had on the big sports guys, and that bothers me.
But I
never interject. When I do sports, I never inject politics. But
that's the problem. People fight and get angry. And when I was in Florida, I was very nice to a couple that I met over there. And we were having a nice chat about the dog and about the neighborhood and the community. And all of a sudden she tells me, are you a Democrat or Republican? Just out of the I said, of course I'm a Republican. I'm running for office. Oh, and she starts freaking out. I said, you're freaking out over what? But I asked her, why are you freaking out?
When they ask you, that means that they're a Democrat.
Yeah, she told me. I said, but the election is over. What are you freaking out?
No.
Now just contribute to the country. Support whoever is elected. No, he's not our official president. I said, you're crazy.
But that's what bothers me about sports right now. The NBA, right? The NBA had their All-Star game 2 weeks ago. Now, a week and a half ago. And the NBA, Reggie Miller, played for the Pacers, Nick Killer. He's sitting there with Obama, and I don't got a problem with it. But, but how come they don't honor Trump or George Bush when he was president? But Obama, oh my God. And I heard him do an interview, but it's, to me, so hypocritical. That's why sports and politics should be separate. And that's why I'm upset with the Seattle Seahawks. And people were saying, oh, it was great. They're making a statement. But the president of the United States...
What was that other idiot that bent down and that clown? He was a quarterback.
Colin Kaepernick?
Colin Kaepernick. Now he's making money, I think, as a sports... They hired him a sportscaster or something.
Well, he was doing, I think, maybe some betting.
All I know is I'm so happy he lost the job and he lost
He never played after that.
I know that. He didn't deserve it.
But the hypocrisy of... They praise people, and he's supposed to be American, right? The women's team represented this country, so it wasn't about politics. If you signed up to represent this country, it doesn't matter whether you agreed or disagreed with the president. And I've had my disagreements with President Trump, but I would look at it and say, I'm an American, and I represent this country. Absolutely, I want to meet the president. And that's what bothers me.
If you're a teacher, you have to teach the curriculum and not your Nazi or DEI ways. And if you are hired as a county person and you have to marry somebody, you marry them. Now, I agree that I don't agree to gay marriage, but if the law passed, you have to do your job. Your job is your job. Now, help stop that law.
Right.
Go change that law. Why did you sit by and allowed your building or you allowed your department to approve it? You should have gone to the judges. Now that you have your law, you must. The law doesn't work that you pick whatever laws you want. Either you disregard all the laws or you pick all the laws.
But I think I
disregard all the laws. Okay, the laws don't count. I believe the moral standards.
By the way, I thought it was great when you disregarded those laws during COVID. I thought that was
but it's
great.
not only COVID. It's now too. It's the stupidities and the lies and the cheating of the. I'm in a political campaign. And I'm watching how the backstabbing and the lying.
My God.
It's like terrible.
Politics,
And they're cheating now already, and we're not even started the campaign.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. You have been in politics a long time. I've been in politics a long time locally. I think it's the worst it's ever been. It's getting worse. 10 years ago or 15 years ago when I started to where it is now, I think it's just 10 times
People are
worse.
cheating. And Kalman Yeager, I'm not supporting him. You know that.
No, I didn't.
100%. And now he had a...
Didn't you run against him?
Right.
Didn't you run against
he
him?
has somebody running against him on the Democratic side.
Right.
And now, due to inside sources, this guy, Dweck, backed out. You know that? Closed his campaign. And to what I understand, that he made a deal with Kalman Yeager. The Kalman Yeager will help support him in another race for the city council when Ina leaves if he backs off. I mean, first of all, Kalman's a liar because he did that to me too. Everything that comes out of Kalman's mouth is a lie. Lie.
I mean, the people he associates with, what am I surprised? I mean, I know you're playing friendly with half of those people, but I mean, I am not surprised whatsoever, about Kalman Yeager.
By the way, I was so happy when Trump...
So you're not going to be campaigning for him this year?
Not only will I not, I have a candidate running against him.
I understand. Well, I'm sure we'll find that out.
And we're going to get, her name is Zahava Durchin, and I want you to support her, and she is more qualified, more intelligent. You spoke to her today. Was she not with the program?
I will certainly say...
I remember when she was born, I didn't know her, and her mother worked for me about
20 years ago?
40 years ago,
Okay.
when I was 21, 22. So yeah, about 40 years ago, she worked for me as a secretary and then a travel agent. And she got married. I remember when she met her husband there. I was so happy for her. And then she had a baby. So I think this was the baby. She had a boy and a girl. So one of them was born when she was with me, and I'm very happy for her.
Well, who knows?
And look, you see, I bump into them, and 40 years later, I helped the daughter.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Now, during Trump's speech, he spoke about Pelosi.
Yeah, you know what? I'm in a group chat. A couple of guys that I'm friends with, Josh and Joe. You know them, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about Pelosi, and there's a photo.
He actually brought out. Said, "Look, this witch is using our government inside information." And she, she says, "Oh, Trump is lazy."
Did you see? There was a photo.
He's the least laziest person on this planet.
There's a photo with Nancy Pelosi. It was in the New York Post recently. This woman has to be the poster child of plastic surgery gone wrong. I mean, I don't want to repeat. I know we have a certain different audience here in Midwood Borough Park and Flatbush and Lakewood and Muncie. But, I mean, just go look Nancy Pelosi, New York Post. This has to be the definition of plastic surgery gone wrong. That's all I'm saying. And I'm in a group chat. Like I said, with two guys I'm friends with. And I saw a photo from Nancy Pelosi when she was with JFK to now. Plastic surgery gone wrong. People talk about Madonna. People talk about...
Bottom line, what did you think about Trump's speech? I thought it was great. Maybe a little long, but I enjoyed
I didn't have a problem with the length.
Every day we always go to his conferences.
The longest
The news is always looking to hear him something to say.
I think...
Here you go. You're always trying to get something, woman, and all these press conferences, or you say this, say that, ask him questions. He says, listen, you don't have to ask me any more questions. I'm coming out there and I'm going to give you all your answers in an hour and a half. Shut up and listen.
I thought what I liked was the length, because the longest speech was President Clinton's his last year, which for obvious reasons, because he was the last year, he was coming off with Monica Lewinsky, the whole Iraq war bombing. But I think with this, I liked a lot of what he had to say. I don't like the tariffs. I don't like the tariffs.
Everybody says the tariffs not working. I think they're working. They brought in almost $800 billion in revenue.
But you look at
that's $1 trillion off our deficit.
Well, the people say the deficit's going up though.
It's not.
We've debated this on here many times.
He's holding it back.
I don't think it's.
You watch.
We'll find out. But right now the Supreme Court doesn't seem to.
Egg price are up, food price up. Every price is up.
But what did you think about Trump? But Trump went a little off the rails.
I love that he gave the Medal of Honor.
Now that was good.
He gave medals of honor to the guy.
I agreed with that. I disagree with him on the Supreme Court, though. He put them in, though. He's viscerating people that he put in there. What did he expect?
He put them in, but that's beauty. Look, I put you in, and you're wrong. I'm going to take me too. You think I don't hire employees and I tell them you're wrong or you did something wrong?
Well,
or
I
you're
know
not
you've
listening?
got a great producer. You've continued to obviously praise and praise because your mic has been much better
I loved.
recently.
I was when he gave that 100-year-old man
That was great. I got that was great.
the
Absolutely.
man. Wow, captain.
Absolutely. God bless
Gave
him.
him.
Harsham.
Gave him. I
Harsham.
was so proud
Harsham.
of that Medal of Honor, and that man deserved it.
I thought he was good. I tell you what, a couple of things I liked on Trump. I liked when he was talking about how the Democrats on the tax and tips. Well,
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I think that I agree with because the Democrats.
Explain it.
Well, he's with one of the things he wants to do is eliminate the tax when you get you get a tip or you're a wage worker.
Yeah.
You have to pay taxes on those tips. He's taking that off. I thought that was great. I thought the way
I
he
agree.
explained that was great, and he talked about working class people. Whereas I listened to the Democrats' response, Abigail Spanberger. Oh my goodness,
God, she's an
that
idiot.
that was like one of the worst. My God, it was like Hillary like
And
30 years
Fox
ago.
was really for him, and even CNN.
I watched Fox's.
What's his name again? The guy who one of these guys he worked on a campaign for I think it was Obama. What was Obama's campaign manager? Whatever.
Axelrod?
Axelrod. He said Trump's speech.
Not Ben
was pretty-
Axelrod.
No, but
We
he
worked-
said
me and
Trump-
your producer
he
worked with Ben
said-
Axelrod.
He's a Democrat who hates Trump. He said Trump's speech was pretty good.
I thought I liked it. I liked the length. I thought that he
He
made
got
some good
into
points.
the program. He explained whatever.
I thought
But
that-
Katie Couric, that I used to like as a news reporter.
I used to like looking at her years ago,
right?
not now. What about
And
it?
then she lost her husband. She was
Yes.
married. She says Trump is a racist. He's the least racist person on the planet.
And what was on what grounds did Katie
I
Couric
know,
say
because of that she put a video of Obama as an ape.
that? Oh yes, for a couple of weeks. Well, I didn't agree with that. I didn't think that he needed to do that. I mean, I don't think he's a racist.
You're telling me that everybody in this country hangs around with their friends, don't make a racist joke, a racist cartoon, laugh. Everybody in this country says the F word somehow when you're not supposed to.
I think the F
Everybody is
word's
that
different
way.
than a racial
It's
word,
not only
though.
the F. Everybody said a bad word. The black people say about the white people say about. I don't say it. Once in my whole life, I said a bad word. But I was 9 years old, and my mother taught me, and she explained to me about
Yeah.
the Holocaust and how racism.
Absolutely.
So I've always fought racism. Plus, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood where they
You
came
did, Benson-
after
in Bensonhurst,
and how
on-
Hitler's
on
and that.
67th
so
and
I
20th.
told so I know that I'm a little bit more different, but I've been part of groups.
You're
where
very different.
But it's only that. But I've been part of groups that when I'm standing there, they talk nasty about women.
Well,
they talk nasty about black people. Nasty
you know
about
what? I
Spanish-
think you
and
and
I
I-
tell them to stop.
I think-
But again, I hear it, and you're right. I take responsibility because I'm sitting there, and I even let them say this stupid joke.
I think you and I are similar in the sense that our backgrounds, unlike a lot of people, are unique because we've grown or we knew people from all backgrounds. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there that listen. But to me, people like Katie Couric, they're just trying to do anything they can to score points with their
Yeah.
mainstream media friends,
Yeah.
or the mainstream media, as Mark Levin would call them.
Yeah, I want you to know,
right, I wanna
Mamdani, before we get to
I would like to come back
and
to
his
him.
shoveling was so bad. Again, they got upset with me that
Why?
I got 3 trucks assigned to me to drive around. They said, you didn't assign it to me.
Mm-hmm.
They get paid by the city. They had to shovel anyways. I was just showing them how to shovel it correctly and what streets to do. I should be having 10 trucks all over Borough Park and Flatbush.
You know, it's funny you
and
said that.
instead they gave me 3.
It was interesting. I had went out right before the storm on Sunday, and in Staten Island, I'm seeing these sanitation trucks just sitting there, and I'm saying to myself, "Well, what's the point of that?" And that's maybe what the problem
They
was.
should have been picking up the garbage. Instead, they didn't pick up the garbage, and the garbage had to stay another week in the smelly snow.
Right, and then, well, it's funny because I was listening to, which I know you didn't, but I did listen to Mamdani's speech on Monday, and he basically said, "Look, your garbage is not being picked up for the week," and then he said recycling is going to go even longer. That's what he
This
said.
man has no control, has no idea what he's doing, and you guys are letting him get away with it.
Because that's what people wanted. Remember, people
And
voted
they're
for
still
this.
giving tickets. I just want you to know you're getting sanitation
Yes.
tickets. If you don't shovel your snow, you're getting sanitation tickets.
I heard that, but I heard he was he was not giving as many on this one. That's what he
Stop.
says. Well, we'll
Depends
find
what
out.
neighbor-
I'll tell you
yeah.
what. You'll report on it next week's show. Right? You'll report about it.
You know, there's a lady called Dr. Casey Means.
Okay.
She's appearing before the Senate on Wednesday,
Right.
which is today, in a long-awaited hearing to discuss her highly scrutinized nomination for Surgeon General. Now, what's the problem? Because she's against vaccines, Bill Cassidy, Republican, and Bernie Sanders, Independent or Democrat,
Socialist.
They both grilled Means about whether she believed that vaccines cause autism.
Okay.
As
What was
healthy
the
as
response?
Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. has. Means said that vaccines save lives and that anti-vaccine rhetoric has never been part of her message. But she never decided to rule out vaccines as a contributor to autism. But she says, again, do what you want to do. Do it in a slow manner. Some people put all their vaccines at once. Again, you're the parent. You decide how to do it. But it shouldn't be regulated or forced onto any of us.
Absolutely. Oh, listen, you and I are 100% on that. I think it's up to the individual to decide what they want. It's their life. You choose it. But people don't. But you know, we've talked about this in the past year in previous episodes over the years. And it's funny when it comes to abortion. It's my body, my choice. But vaccines,
Right.
Well, I thought that'd be the same
Yeah,
way.
now I understand spreading measles, spreading mumps, spreading chicken pox. The truth of the matter is because it was very dirty country. You know, sanitation didn't start till 2000, till 1900.
Yes,
there was
right.
horse garbage on the
People
floors.
would
Meat were being sold on the
Right,
street when there
yeah.
were flies all over.
Yeah.
Today we have healthy standards, healthy eating, healthy
Right.
workout places, cleaner streets. Not Rhonda Mamdani, but cleaner streets. I call him Mamdani. The man is just dumb.
You know what?
I'm standing in the snowstorm at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and not a single snow shoveling truck. When you have enough in my neighborhood that you could have had one on every block every hour.
Well, so what do you think is going to happen in the summer when it's hot? I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to get.
He's
then
going to
what?
open up centers again. And again, the man is just a loser.
And what did you think about how they closed schools on Monday and opened them on Tuesday? What was your thoughts on that? A lot of people complain about that.
The streets weren't shoveled. The buses
Right.
couldn't move.
So how do you
but
expect
the
these
Jewish
kids-
schools kept going. We did have our buses open. We did shovel my streets in Borough Park and Flatbush, so we were on the move.
So do you
our
think
kids had to go to school?
So what did you? So what was
I
your
think
answer?
like 60% of the people showed up for schools,
but
and then they let them off.
but why didn't they do remote? See, my thing
Right.
is that okay, I got you.
Everybody has internet
Now his
today.
response.
Everybody got computers today.
Now his reasoning that he canceled Monday was because they were already off for a week from school. And people wouldn't have had time to coordinate. All right, I give that.
I don't.
But here's where I'm going to disagree. Tuesday, you now knew what the city had went through. The snow ended in the afternoon. Why didn't you give an option of remote?
Yeah.
Why didn't you make them remote and then have them
I
come back
told him,
today?
and Mamdani has no idea what's
No,
going
he
on.
doesn't. But that's what people voted for.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way, the Trump administration, on a side note, is suing New Jersey over a state order that prohibits federal immigrant agents from making arrests in non-public areas of state property such as correctional facilities and courthouses.
Okay.
So let me just give it to you. I agree. You know what?
What?
ICE and the federal government can't be running around the streets and asking you for your ID and arresting you. You know, it is our right as an American, whether you're a citizen or not to be approached and ask for your ID. That is our right.
I agree.
Okay, so you don't know who's a citizen or not. I agree. You can't be arresting people on the streets.
Right.
But if somebody's arrested and in jail, in custody, he's an illegal alien that committed a serious crime, yes, he's allowed to be arrested, taken out of this country.
Right.
He was caught committing a crime, not a driving crime or a desk appearance ticket. I'm talking he's in a state correctional facility for a serious crime.
Sure.
You don't go there for driving or 2 days. Those people should be deported. Now, I agree that deporting somebody to a third country is wrong,
Look,
unless they request it.
yeah. Look, I think that obviously, we know.
So this idiot, Michelle Sherrill, what's her name?
Mikey Sherrill.
Mikey
I'll add it
Sherrill.
for you,
She's
Mikey
a
Sherrill.
lady with the man's name, and she's happy. A Democrat who took office insists on harboring criminal offenders from the federal law enforcement. The lawsuit said they're accusing her of attempting to obstruct federal law enforcement and thwarting President Trump's
Well, I
crackdown.
was listening to Spanberger's speech, and she's going on about these peaceful protests in Minneapolis and going on about ICE. And then she goes and says, well, my father was in law enforcement and my military background. But then I'm saying to myself, did you watch the same thing that we were watching and what all the problems that places like Minneapolis have had? And that's the reason why ICE had to come in the first place. and it's because of the Democrats. And then she's trying to project that they're the part, which was laughable to me, that she was trying to project that they're the party of public safety and law enforcement.
Oh, please. You know, the party of law enforcement, let me tell you about Mamdani and your Democratic Party. There was a video going around which I'm embarrassed.
Oh, you are?
There were 2 police officers.
Yes, I heard about that.
And
You
they
guys
were
talked about it.
bombing them with snowballs. It wasn't a snowball fight. They were threatening. You're talking maybe about 30 people throwing snowballs, and they tried to get out of the way. They could have run away, but again, policemen are not made to run away.
No.
They stood there like men. They walked away. They tried to stop it. They pushed them down. They said, go away, and they kept throwing snowballs and hurting them. And what did Mamdani do?
He said,
I'm asking you.
he said, oh, they were throwing snowballs.
Right. He's not even looking into it, and the video shows them throwing snowballs, trying to hit them in the face, hurt the police officers.
Because what do you think he really thought about it?
Yeah.
He was cheering them on deep down.
Right.
Now he's just trying to play the game. But yeah, we're not surprised. And if you're out there, by the way, and you're watching this and you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button for Heshy. It's free. It costs you nothing. And it's at Just Enough Heshy 7005. Heshy is on Instagram. He's actually, his biggest is on TikTok. So check him out there, Just Enough Heshy.
Yeah.
And he will watch videos. And is one person who told me today, it's not Just Enough Heshy, it's Never Enough Heshy.
I love that guy. I love that guy. We know one thing.
What do we know?
And I know one thing. And the most important thing is that election season comes up every year, every 2 years, every 3 years. There's always some cycle of another election thing. You must get registered. You must vote. You must participate. I mean, look at you. You complained 8 years ago. Then you complained 4 years ago. We got the Trump in. You're not happy with Trump. Why? I don't know. Then you put Mamdani in, and you're happy with this man? A man who for, 60 days already?
Yeah, it's
he's
actually
in office.
now, I think it's
He
hit
promised you free buses.
56 days.
When is he going to do the free buses? Before he leaves office? When is he going to do the free sanitation?
But
when he leaves office?
know,
When is he going to do the free 3K? When he's in, and he's working with AOC on this. A Bigelow's AOC who wants to spend 93, with 37 trillion in the hole. She wants to get another $93 trillion to turn us to green. And even if we turn to green, how many trillions of dollars is it to maintain it?
Yeah.
We don't have enough money to feed our people. We have people dying in the streets at home. It's $93 trillion. You can build massive skyscrapers all over in the desert, have water running to it, and do it that way. But no, she wants to turn to green. I don't see global warming.
But speaking of that, with the encampments, he changed his policy. Did you hear about that? After all he changed to what? What is
So
that really brings to the
everything
table?
you guys believed about him, you're stupid. You voted for him because you were scared. And then the people who voted for Cuomo are stupid because you were scared. What you should have done is picked Curtis or picked another candidate. And Adams, I blame
What about
Adams.
that guy on WABC?
Yeah, but I blame Adams because he chickened out. He thought he's smarter. He should have just gone head to head against
Adams,
Cuomo.
he was
I
too
believe
popular.
Adams could have beat Cuomo in the Democratic primary, and nobody would have paid attention to
I think
Mamdani.
Adams suffers with what a lot of politicians I've seen, especially in Brooklyn politics over the last 15, 20 years. He was too arrogant, too big for his own britches.
Yeah.
That's the word, and that
I'm
was
happy he's
Adams.
gone. The truth of the matter is, I'm happy he's gone.
But I did ask you about 6 months ago, and I said this would come. I predicted we would be in this situation with Mamdani. Obviously, we didn't know we'd have storms to this degree and have a fractured hand.
Oh, it didn't
but
start. It
I
didn't even
did
start
ask
yet.
you,
Yeah.
will you miss Eric Adams?
I don't.
Even with what you've seen so far in 56
do
days?
you see Eric? Did you think Eric Adams did a better job with the shootings and the murders? He didn't do a better job in the snow as well. You know that.
We didn't have blizzard, but to be fair, he got lucky.
He only
only had the first. No, he actually did not have a blizzard.
Right,
like
but,
this. We got
but
lucky.
even the snowstorms that he had, and then he made us take garbage cans, and the garbage cans
garbage
never
cans
showed
were dumb.
up.
The 50
It's dumb, but many of his stupid things were
But
dumb.
I think he was putting more
He
police
promised.
out there.
He did not. He promised
to
us
Mamdani.
more.
Mamdani's pulling him off the street.
But Adams promised us more cops. You're right. He did.
He's better on anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
You do have to give him that.
Okay,
I'm not
you
saying
know
I'm an
what?
Adams fan. I didn't vote for Adams.
His opinions on anti-Semitism is better. But during Adam's thing, we were attacked.
The migrants,
and
he did have a problem with the migrants at the beginning. I do agree with you on
he
that.
brought in
The hotel-
100,000 migrants.
At the hotel.
He caused it. We had
Yes.
10,000.
And he did
brought
say, remember when he said to DeSantis and Abbott,
he
bring him
costed
in.
this city $6
Yes.
billion.
We talked about this on
Not
previous
the state.
episodes.
He put a $6 billion.
But I just look
low.
at it, Mamdani is he's a dangerous threat to society. Adams was just
He's
stupid.
not dangerous.
He is Mamdani.
Mandani is stupid.
But he is a dangerous threat because
Okay, you put a stupid man in
Soros put him
office.
in. He's absolutely dangerous. Adams was just the party guy, the swagger man. In some ways, I would prefer
He has a
Adams.
great smile.
And you know what? I'll take him over Mamdani.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a Mamdani
No,
fan.
the truth of the matter is, I don't want. I would take Sliwa. Adams does not deserve to be mayor ever again or any other political position after he.
Adams is never running again.
He
cannot run
dropped
again.
out.
Yeah.
You back out. You chickened out. Not that you couldn't do it like Biden. He actually chickened out.
So what do you think? You know, I heard through the grapevine, you were telling me that through the grapevine that Ina Vernikov was exploring a run for mayor.
Right.
What
so
was
I
that
was
about?
I was
You heard
at
from
I was at a
inside
committee
sources.
meeting from Inside Sources, and she was at one of her private meetings with Carmen Yeager. To what I understand, whatever.
I needed
she
a good
ended-
laugh. I had a fractured
so
hand. I needed a
everybody
good
was
laugh.
asking her, "Are you going to run for judge and switch back to the Democratic thing?" She says, "Oh, I'm going to run against Mamdani." I mean,
I needed a good laugh.
I wish I would be able to debate her. She's so stupid. I mean, I had to make peace
She never
with her.
debated.
I know.
Never debated.
I know.
She never debated.
She couldn't.
And she's
And
now.
that
Do
was
you think
because of
she's
Steve
out there right
Saperstein.
now?
Steve
I know.
Saperstein could have done it. And
Steve
he
was a buddy
screwed
of
us.
mine, you know.
I know, but he
He was
could have
buddy.
made a. He was the guy who didn't want to debate anybody, and at the end, because of
You
that,
should have told him that. Did you tell Steven? You know, Steven's a friend of
we
yours. Why
had
didn't you
one.
tell
We
him?
had one little town hall meeting on during COVID.
I was on
online.
his campaign. You should have told me to tell Steven that. Why didn't you do that?
He should have made a big debate, everybody on stage, and it would have showed you how bad
Well,
this
you
woman
know,
is.
when we all ran, you were on the Zoom. We did have that debate.
Yeah, and I was great on it.
I thought you were great.
I was great on it.
But you know, we didn't have Eno on there though.
Yeah, I know that.
Did you tell Stephen Witt that? He's a friend of yours, Stephen Witt. Remember Stephen Witt?
I know he was he wasn't a friend of mine, but he was nice.
He was.
And I have become
better than
more
what we've got
friendly-
now.
Yeah.
Didn't he work in the Adams administration?
Yeah. Did he?
I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on
And
it.
it was we're coming to the end.
We
of the
got
show.
plenty of time. Where
How
you
much time do
going?
we have?
Got like 15 minutes,
No
Heshy.
way.
I got more things to say. So
I do, but I just wanted to warn you.
no,
that
we got 15 minutes, Heshy. This
not
is
the
your
15
show.
Minutes.
We got 15
Our
minutes.
live listeners.
We got a little more time in. We got about 8 or 9 minutes,
Good.
but we got plenty of things to talk about here. And if you're here, email Heshy
Yeah.
about what's on your mind. Tell him if maybe you want to talk about why you like Mamdani. Tell him why you don't like
Does
Trump.
anybody have an ointment for his arm? You see,
No.
he's freaking out with his broken
No.
hand. I broke my rib and I went to work the next day.
But ribs is different than a hand.
Are you crazy?
Ribs is very different.
How
Much
much
different.
pain I was? I couldn't walk.
Ribs are different.
You can get up and walk.
I can get up and walk, but I can't grip anything. Grip your hand. Can't grip.
Yeah, but you can't walk. And not
I can
grip.
walk.
You have the other hand.
I have
don't
another
have
hand.
another rib.
Well, that's up to you. It's up to you. Do you want to break your rib now and tell us how that would be? Do you want to do a man on the
Yeah,
street?
by the way, I had to give away a rib for Linda. Remember
You
that?
almost broke your rib last year at this time. Remember we had the whole thing at Day Hill Road?
Yeah.
Remember that? It's right around the year mark from that. You went
Yeah.
out there and you got into a fight with those.
I got into a fight, or they
were-
attacked me,
They were going in there and it was,
and I protected myself. You're right.
fight, Heshy, fight! Fight, Heshy, fight. Are you going to be telling people that, for the people that are going to sign up to fight for this, to sign, fight?
I believe. Listen, guys. I'm giving you another. Everybody's telling me I'm giving you another chance. I mean, I have the energy and the power. I'm fighting. My nephew calls me the other night. He says, "Heshy, Uncle Heshy, oh, you're rich." I said, "Really? How rich am I?" "Oh,
What are you rich in, Monopoly money?"
That's what I said. He says, "Oh, everybody knows you have $10 million."
Wow.
I said, "Wow." I said, "That's great."
Then why are you running for
I
office?
said, okay. Then he says to me, "But somebody told me that when you had a fight with him, you had $100 million." I don't know, man. I live in a small apartment with 5 bedrooms. Yes, I'm well off. I make a good living, but $100 million.
Wow, $100
I
million?
would not be doing this radio show. I'd be
I was gonna
sitting
say.
on the beach in Miami drinking
I was
pina
gonna
coladas
say,
with Linda.
I get people telling me all the time, you know what, I think we suffer from the same problem.
And I wouldn't be driving a Nissan Rogue.
Listen, I get
would be
people-
driving a Hummer
Pe-
with wheels like 19 inches higher.
That would have helped you out in the snow.
That's right. I got stuck in the snow.
I heard.
Yeah,
I heard about that. I heard you got stuck in the. Who didn't get stuck in the
Right,
show?
but I knew how to drive on the right streets. You had to pay attention. I kept informing people when they texted me what streets were shoveled, what streets were not, and they tried to reach. But you know why do you know why our city councilman did not help the local people?
Tell me why. We don't have him.
He was snowed in, stuck in New Jersey.
Oh, I see.
Because Jersey didn't shovel.
I get you.
He lives in Jersey, snowed in Jersey, and he doesn't care about his local constituents.
So when do you think he'll show up eventually by summer?
I don't know. I don't know.
I want to ask you a question, and I'm hearing you talk.
Maybe he gets on the subway, the free subway, because then maybe Mamdani will give him
But that's
that.
New Jersey Transit, though.
Yeah, but doesn't it transfer to our subway?
But that would be 34th Street or World Trade Center.
34.
But I don't know. But I want to ask you a question. I've heard you talk a lot about Mamdani in the last 2 months we've been on the show. And we've been talking a lot about this. And then I don't want to put you on the spot, but I was thinking about this before we came on the air. And if you were to give Mamdani a letter grade so far in his nearly 60 days in office so far, I'd be curious to know, what would your letter grade be?
So, for sure not an A. A B, of course not. Now, would I even consider a C? The answer is no. Now, I'm not going to give him an F.
I thought you would give an F for sure.
No. I give him a D minus.
Okay.
The reason why I only give him the D is because he did fill all the vacancies. He does have the city running. The city.
He filled the vacancies with the people that you despise the most.
But he did. The city is running. I thought the city would stop running.
You really thought that?
I really thought. I thought he like.
Well, to be fair, you didn't think
screaming.
the last couple of days the city didn't stop?
It's bad, but again, crime would have been. Crime is bad. Up 103%.
Now we did say before and after he took office
on the trains
that we wouldn't see that until the summer, maybe.
But we see it now. Subway crime is up over 103% in the 60 days that he's there. So again, the city's running, the cops are out, all the agencies are out there that are fining us. That's what he told them. Give fines, stop jobs, order jobs, money. And people who actually fix their problems go back and punish them a second time. You know what I mean? So he's going after the people, and this is, so why am I giving him? He's running the city. That means he doesn't have control of the agencies, but he's not. He has money to pay them.
Do you know what I noticed so far in Mamdani nearly 60 days? And I'm pretty sure you would know this because you're always around. But I have noticed, and tell me if I'm wrong, in the nearly 60 days, and by the time next week we'll have passed 60 days, has Mamdani even entered Borough Park once?
No.
And that's what I think really struck me most.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him in Far Rockaway.
Right.
Haven't seen him in Kew Gardens. Haven't seen him in Borough Park. Haven't seen him in Willowbrook.
Right.
You see a coincidence?
He goes to, when he does come to Brooklyn, he goes to different, I don't want to say what neighborhoods he goes to. And he really, he
but
goes,
you notice what
he fills potholes on a bridge. I mean, the man never worked a day in his life and he picked up a shovel to fill a pothole. I mean, Musabi, he did that wrong too.
But don't you think now, I hate to go back to Adams. But Adams was in Borough Park a lot.
Why? Because he came for the money. Mamdani's not getting money from Borough Park.
Adams, for a lot of things, he was a people person. He got out to everywhere. He showed up to, even if you didn't like his views.
He only showed up because
he was holding town halls.
His deputy mayor was Menashe.
Oh, they're terrible.
Menashe Shapiro.
His administration was corrupt.
He was a self-hating Jew, and Menashe had the pulse of the certain religious neighborhoods. And I know from tape conversations and people repeating it that he used to threaten these organizations.
I heard
with
about
money,
that. I heard about that.
And they accepted his bribery if they backed Adams. Menashe Shapiro belongs in jail. Menashe Shapiro
a lot of the Mad administration should.
Menashe Shapiro doesn't belong in jail. I'm sorry, belongs in hell.
And I do want to say hello to somebody on Instagram that's watching me. My friend Zilla from Sports Wire Radio is probably Zilla the Thriller. Zilla, I don't know if I'll announce it, but I do have a fractured hand. So
he finally admits it.
You already see it on the video.
Right, I told everybody.
It's in the video.
But I told everybody, and you're going to get better.
Oh, I'm in bed right now. I'm in my bed right now.
Did you take any painkillers?
I am on ibuprofen. I had Advil ibuprofen.
They didn't give you medication, a prescription?
10 days ibuprofen.
You and me are real men.
10 days. I expect in like
When
a
I
week.
busted my rib, I took
I expect in
Tylenol the first 2 days.
in 10 days to be not normal, but like a little better. But we'll see, you know.
Right.
But yeah.
My sister, by the way, I want you to all know.
How's she doing?
She's in Borough Park Center, room 218. If you want to go visit her,
I might have a lot of time
make
on my
her
hand
smile. I need you.
I'll be
I
out
go
there.
there every day. I run around. I volunteer in the Borough Park Center. But if you ever want to go visit her, she's doing better.
Good.
She's exercising her
Good.
leg.
Asking
we
you for
can't
more money?
No. Oh, you didn't buy me the chicken. You didn't buy me the snack.
That's
I'm
why you
calling-
don't have 10 million.
And then she right. I don't. I had an organization that I've been supporting. I'm not going to say their name for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I got them in my thing.
Right.
And every time I give them money, they promise to support me.
Okay.
And they say, well, we supported you. I said, I never saw you support me. You never came through.
Mm-hmm.
This time, Heshy, we're going to support you because last time when we came out for support for you, which they didn't support me, they said something. Simcha Felder cut them off. So I told them, listen, you're going to help me collect signatures and I will support you. This time, it's not going to be I give you money first. And I don't bribe them. I donate to their organizations because they do good. But when you lie to me, and you ask me for more, and you tell me you're in trouble, and you tell me that if I help you, other people will help you, and I do it and you don't come through, once you screwed me, twice you screwed me, yes, shame on me, shame on you, but I don't mind doing good for organizations. But don't lie. Don't lie. Just don't lie to suck a few pennies out of me.
I want to say goodbye because they're about to leave in a matter of seconds to our audience on
Goodbye.
WJPR 1640 AM, WNEW 1027 FM, and our flagship WSNR 620 AM. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's Just Enough Heshy show with Tom and Heshy. We'll be back next week. And as one person said
I'm
earlier,
hoping all
never
the
enough
snow
Heshy.
will have melted and...
I heard 57 by the end of next week.
thank God.
We're supposed to get more snow next week, though. I think.
Oh, really?
Or Tuesday's supposed to be.
we got
snow.
another
Monday,
month of this.
yeah.
I hope this... But at
The
least
groundhog said 6 weeks winter still. They did say
yeah?
that. They did say that. The
Groundhog
Staten Island groundhog
has the
said it.
groundhog ever been right?
They say usually that the Staten Island one's right like 90% of the time, and the groundhog did say, Groundhog Chuck said we would have 6 weeks of winter, and boy,
The groundhog spoke?
that's what they
Don't
announced.
they put a little hat on the groundhog?
We remember what De Blasio happened, right? He killed the groundhog.
He
years
killed
ago.
the groundhog?
He killed because he threw it, and it just the whole was years ago. It was a big thing. I actually lived right where
The man
zoo
killed
is.
the groundhog.
He killed it because he threw it, and it bit him, and that's why they just.
The groundhog biting, it was smart.
Actually, I had a relative of mine years ago that was actually involved in the groundhog stuff.
Oh, really?
Yep, I had it on my father's side of the family. I don't know where he is now, but he was big into that.
I know that in November I was bitching about the winter. December I cried. January I barely made it through. I can't believe it's the end of February. I don't know how we made it this far. I got one more month.
Praying.
And I'm taking off my coat now to
Hashem.
start practicing.
Lot of Hashems.
But yeah,
Hashem.
and you know,
We didn't even have like one Indian summer day in February. You always get February, get like 70 degrees.
but I'm
60 we
hoping
got
this
nothing.
50 degrees weather that predicting. Usually they're off by 4 or 5 temperature points.
Well, I think next weekend they're saying 50s like the way through.
That would be nice, and if everything melts and we walk into March in a good weather, all I know is I need good weather to collect these signatures.
Absolutely.
So I hope I
Well,
get
I think
them.
we're supposed to get 40s over the weekend.
40s is still cold, but again, you
Better
guys have-
than
Right,
you
you
know.
gotta- you-
Remember last year when we did it when you were running in the special election? Nothing was worse than that. I gotta be honest.
Wow.
The cold.
2 days we couldn't even. I mean, even though we tried, it was so bitter
The
cold.
first day I went out there and I was on a building off Day Hill Road in like Avenue O around there, like West 4th Street or something like that, whatever it was. The cold was through my hands and I had hand warmers
Yeah.
on. So that's how it goes,
Yeah.
you know. That's how it goes. You know, obviously we're excited about the future and definitely let Heshy know some of your thoughts and tell him what's on your mind and justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Also, message him anytime on his cell phone, 718-288-7844.
Yeah.
That's 718-288-7844.
And our new campaign office will be once we have it up and running. We started at 198 Foster Avenue.
198 Foster
You're
Avenue
always welcome
downstairs.
to come by. 198 Foster
Right next to
Avenue.
the firehouse over there.
Right, it's not officially open, but it is officially open.
Yes.
I'm still setting it up, so come by. Don't be scared. And my real office, my business office is next door. So if you don't find me there, you'll find me there. there. Come on by.
It's like amazing there, and do be prepared to find the Wi-Fi connection.
It's okay.
No, definitely do
Anyways,
that.
play that music.
Well,
I'm gonna
I want to
get-
say we got another minute or so. I mean,
Well, I'm gonna play the music.
I
It's a
want to
minute
say
music. No.
thank you to everybody. I
Yes.
also want to say I want to plug myself. If you're
Go
out
ahead,
here on
please.
YouTube,
I love you when you do
hit
that.
the sub button for me on YouTube at SportsWire Radio 6579. I also want to plug my buddy Anthony Finkel out there, DPH Property Maintenance. Go out and check him out, 347-228-2625.
How come you don't plug Green Line Building?
Green
Solutions?
Line Building Construction, obviously. Consulting. They do the best, especially with winter, especially with summer coming up. There is no better place to go to Green
come
Line
get your
Construction.
architectural- not construction.
Isaac's doing a great job out there.
I'm
Penny's the
tired.
best. You make sure Avram needs a raise.
help you get your-
Yitzy's even working hard.
We help you. Now, Yitzy's no good. We help
202
you.
Foster
We help
Avenue.
you with your plans, your permits, your violations. 718-871-0382.
If it's not green, it's not Green Line. Make sure you go to Green Line. DPH Property Maintenance. If you're doing some trash collection, especially what's going on, he'll take it for you. Shoveling. In fact, Anthony Finkel had a video on Monday. He no joke. It looked like he had like 20 people shoveling this one guy's house. It was I think right off Flatbush Avenue. I was dying laughing on Instagram, and that's what we want to support. Support our friends. Anthony Finkel.
By the way, I'm gonna have a link up in about a week for donations. I could use 120 donations, about $10 each, and it gets me matching funds.
Gets you matching funds and also gets you to the opportunity to support Heshy. And thank you, everybody. Also subscribe to me, follow Heshy, producer, play that music, and give us some Florida-like weather.
Great.
Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight.